Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much guys for subscribing to my channel. I've noticed that I've gained about 10 more new followers, so thank you so much. Welcome to the channel. And to anybody that's just passing by for the first time, I would like to say that welcome, you're all welcome, and thank you so much for viewing my videos. And I would love for you to also subscribe to them, like the video, and also please kindly put comment on the comment section of what more you would like, and just interact with me with regards to the video that I'll be sharing with you. So okay, today we are going to be talking about something which is very, what can I say, it's something that we do often, but we don't realize that we are doing it at the time, but then after the action has been done, then we like now regret it. So I'm sure you've already seen by the title of the video. We are going to be talking about oversharing. Okay. I'm laughing because I'm also an oversharer, and what inspired me to do this video was that I was doing a self-introspection about myself, and I was realizing that most of the times I like to overshare. I overshare about every single thing. You know what I'm saying? And even when it's unnecessary, sometimes it's unnecessary for you to give out information to people, and then there you are just giving out information, and then afterwards I like regret, I'll be like, oh, why did I say this, or why did I tell this person that, or I should have said it in the other way and not the way I said it. So like I'm an oversharer, and I just feel like we do it all the time. So it's not just me, like there's a lot of people that do it, and it also makes a person feel so uncomfortable. Sometimes we will be sitting in a group of friends, and then a person will come and they will be like, my baby daddy did 1, 2, or 3, or something to that effect. And then the listeners themselves, like, it's so uncomfortable for them to listen to the information that you are giving them. And for you afterwards, when you're at home, you'll be like, oh shucks, I shouldn't have said this, or I shouldn't have said that. So we're just going to go not too deep into oversharing, but I just want to talk about it, because it's something that I thought about over the past week. Like I said, I was doing a self-introspection, and I realized that this is something that I do. And then when I was interacting with people, I also realized that it's just not me. There's a lot of us that are doing this thing. So what is oversharing? For some of you don't actually know what is oversharing. So oversharing is when we say more than what we should. Okay, we divulge more information than what we were supposed to, or what we should be giving out. And then when we are talking to a friend or a stranger or co-worker, there's a level of emotional intimacy that's appropriate for that relationship. So meaning that for your friends, there's a level of intimacy with regards to you and your friends. So there's a level of sharing that you will give to your friend. There's also a level of sharing that you would give to your co-workers. You understand what I'm saying? And there's also a level of sharing that you will give to your family. There's also a level of sharing that you would give to your therapist. Well, I feel your therapist should know everything, because they need to know the crux of what's really going on, so they can give you constructive feedback. Okay, so I think with regards to your therapy, I think you need to give them like everything. But for example, your boss, let's say for example you need a sick leave, and you just tell your boss, hi manager so and so, I need a sick leave, I need to go to the doctor, for example. That's it. You don't have to say, I need to go to the doctor because I have a lump in my knee and it's oozing out and pus is coming out, and I've been having this for 50 years, and now I'm going for my 100th treatment, and like, no, no, you are entitled to sick leave. Just let your doctor know that, your manager know that you need to see the doctor. That is it. You don't need to divulge a lot of information with regards to that. You understand what I'm saying? And that's also confidentiality. That's confidential things. Like your illness should be a confidential thing. You would see many a times when you're sick, no, the doctor won't write flu. or bacteria in the tongue. The doctor's not going to write it. The doctor's just going to write medical condition, and I've treated so and so for this date till that date, and they will have to stay away from work for this date till this day. That's it. Your doctor is not going to divulge all that information. So why are you divulging it? You understand what I'm saying? So there's a level of intimacy when you interact with certain types of people in the workspace, in your social space, in your family space. Obviously, what you tell your husband is not something that you're going to be telling to your neighbor. You understand what I'm saying? So that's this just an explanation to say how what the level of intimacy means. Okay, and then also, first things first, why should we not overshare? Why should we not overshare? It's simple. It's simple. We make other people feel uncomfortable. Like I said, when you divulge that information, some people will be like, like, oh my gosh, you shouldn't have said that. Like it's uncomfortable for the listeners as well. It's uncomfortable for you, the person that's sharing the information, because now you're talking about a deep secret or your darkest actions or something from your past, and it's uncomfortable for you yourself, to speak about that thing. And it's also uncomfortable for the people that are listening. So that's the reason why you should not overshare, and you should not do it. Another thing, you can't take it back. You can't take it back, even if you regret it. You can't. You can't. For example, let's say you're working right in a certain company, and then everybody's knew you. They knew your life in that company, and you've divulged everything. You've told them everything, and then now you move to now you're obviously much wiser and much older from when you were working at a certain company. Let's say, for example, you were 18 years old when you got your first job. It's just an example, okay? You were 18 years old, you got your first job, and then now there at that job, now you're telling everybody, no, my boyfriend doesn't. I've actually got 4 boyfriends, and and this one does this, and this one does that, and things like that, and everybody knows. Now you have a child. Oh no, I have a child. My child is like 4 years old. The name is this. They go to this school. They go to that school. Like, these are divulging all this information to your coworkers. 5 years later, you get a new job. Right? You get a new job. And now you are there, and obviously you are elder, you are wiser, and now obviously you don't want people to know your personal life and things like that. So now you are a new person. You don't want people to know your life. You it's a new job, it's a new you. So you're coming there with that whole, it's me. I'm coming in as, for example, that time you were a clerk. Now you are a supervisor. So now you're coming in as a supervisor, and you got that whole, respect. You know what I'm saying? So people need to respect you because of obviously your level in the org structure, because now you're a supervisor. And then now you get a new job. Okay, fine, you're working there, nice. Now 2 months later, they hire someone from your old company. That person knows all your dark and deepest secrets because you had divulged to them when you were 18 and you were still very young. Now you're 25 years old and you are a supervisor. Now people are talking about it. Now that person comes to the new company, they hire the person 2 months later, and that person knows you from back in the days. Now they are there like talking about your drinking problem. Ningamboni anje usupervisor, hey, lokiana sinabo 21 years old, besiphuza. Do you understand what I'm saying? Or begaphuza, and she used to tell us that she had a drinking problem or she had a drug problem. I mean, you're a supervisor now. That type of information your subordinates don't need to know. How are they going to respect you when they know that back in the days this is the type of person you were? It shouldn't matter, but for some people, they are not as matured. They don't have that level of maturity in their head that they would be like, okay, no, that was in the past. She was 18 years old. Now she's 25 years old. Obviously, she's fit to be a supervisor, and probably she doesn't drink as much. Or even if she does, it's not something that she does in the open, because now she's supervisor, so she's a bit relaxed and calm, and she does the things in behind closed doors, and she's not like oversharing and showing off all of those things. So do you understand why we say why you should not overshare? Is because once you've overshared it, you cannot take it back, even though you regret it. Okay. The third reason why you should not overshare, okay, you might come across as that you have a low self-esteem. You might come across as that you have a low self-esteem, and nobody wants to come across as if they have a low self-esteem, right? You have people that suffer from superiority complex, but it's also bad to suffer from a inferiority complex. Okay. So why do we feel the need to overshare? Sometimes we want to fast track the relationship. For example, you meet someone for the first time and then you're like, you know what, instead of learning them or them learning you, you rather just in one go tell them everything. When I was born, this was me, and then when I grew up, this was me. My parent was like this, my mother was like that, my father was like that. Then I got married, my husband was like this, my husband was like that, and I have children. My children are like this, my children are like that, and I'm like this, and like, why? Why are we doing that? Why are we doing that? You know, why are we doing that? So sometimes we feel we need to fast track the relationship. You know, we don't necessarily have to. We don't need to fast track the relationship in a sense where now you're oversharing and divulging all your information. Okay. And another reason why we feel the need to overshare is that we want to make the oversharers more comfortable. For example, if your friend says, you know me, I whenever I have money, I like to splash it on the first day, and I finish all my money and I can't save. And I'm that person who never has money because I'm always buying expensive things. So because you want that person to feel comfortable, you also overshare. Say, don't worry, I'm also like that. Even me, when I get 20 rand, the first thing that I do, I'm there on Uber Eats. I am purchasing food on Uber Eats, so don't feel bad. So we feel the need to overshare because we either want to fast track the relationship, where we just want to get the relationship going in a fast pace, or because we want to make the oversharer comfortable, and you don't need to. You understand what I'm saying? Another reason why we feel the need to overshare is because of family history. If, for example, your great-grandmother used to be a panchat mama, your aunties are also going to be panchat mamas, and trust me, you are also going to be a panchat mama. Because you've seen it happening from your elders, you've seen your elders doing it, so now you're also brought up with that, and then you feel that that's the way things are supposed to happen, so you also start oversharing. Okay. And then sometimes people find comfort in strangers. So the reason why we feel the need to overshare is because we feel some comfort in a stranger. You'll be in a taxi, and then you're sitting, and obviously in the taxi maybe it's boring, they're playing boring music, or they're not playing anything, it's just so quiet. And then the person sitting next to you was on the phone, and then maybe they were talking to their kids, and then they hung up, and they're like, they're not talking to anybody. They just hung up the phone and just said, these kids. And then you'll be like, I also have kids. They are also as dramatic, and yada, 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 yada. And then you go on and on and on and on and on. So that's sometimes the reason why we feel the need to overshare, is because we find like comfort in strangers. We find that when you're speaking to a stranger, it's much easier. You know, the person doesn't know you. You don't have to see that person again, like in the near future. So you just feel like even if you just tell them whatever, it doesn't bother, it doesn't matter. So that person, that information, they can't do much with it. All right. So how do you see that you are an oversharer? Like, what are the what can I say, the flags that will show that you are probably an oversharer? Okay, one of them is that you feel a regret after you have overshared. Now you told someone something at work, and now you're at home, now you're having sleepless nights, and you're like, oh shoot, I shouldn't have told them that, you know, because last week I said I was at the funeral, jiggy. Now I'm here saying that last week I was on the tables, you know, and I was chaperoning you know, and then you're like, ish, but my stories don't tell you, and now I'm regretting why I said that, because they were supposed to know me to be a person that came from the funeral and not a person that was on the tables, go rooftop. You get me? So that is a sign that you're an oversharer. Whenever you regret that you shouldn't have said something. Another thing that shows that you're an oversharer, the moment you say, I've never said this to anybody, brah, you must know, that you are an oversharer. You are an oversharer. And trust you me, the moment you say, I've never told this to anyone, because you don't like to overshare, but anyways, because when you are my friends, I'm going to tell you this. Yesterday I played the lotto. Yo, guys, like, why do we do this? Why do we do? I'm saying we because I'm also guilty. I'm also so guilty about this. Like, I'm also very much guilty in doing this, you know. And then sometimes the reason why we like to overshare is because we want people's sympathy, you know. We like to come and overshare to people because we want them to feel sorry for us, for them to be like, ish, askisi, ish, yeah, no, I remember, yeah, ish, yeah, I'm sorry, you know. Like, we want people's sympathy. We want them to just be like, ish, shame, she doesn't have a mother, or she's got no parents, and she lost her parents in such and such a way, or in such and such a way. So that's why sometimes we overshare. Okay, so how to prevent oversharing? How do you prevent oversharing? We have to think before we speak. Before we speak, we have to think. And I know it's kind of a difficult, like I said, especially if you were brought up in a way where everybody overshares everything, or it's something that you've been doing all the time and you don't know anything else besides oversharing, and then you just speak your mind, and then you are so trusting towards people. You don't think that people are going to switch the information you've given them and then work it against you. Okay, so you need to think before you speak. Another way to prevent, you should ask yourself, why are you even sharing this kind of information? You know, ask yourself, why are you sharing this kind of information? And then I just want to also make a note that you are entitled to your privacy. You know, we need to operate on a need to know basis. Need to know basis. What's your name? Fatima, also known as Famous Aunt. That's it. You don't need to know my daddy's name and what he does for a living, where he comes from. You don't need to know my mommy's name, what she does for a living, where she comes from. Like I said, there's a level of intimacy. So there's some people that obviously you might share this information with, and there's some people that you don't need to share this information with. A colleague at work doesn't need to know your lineage. You understand what I'm saying? So I have 3 tips for you before I end this video. It seems as if it's a long video and I've been making punch this whole time, but I just feel that I needed to speak about this. You know, I'm guilty of it. We are all guilty of it. So we just need to change, you know. And so I have 3 tips. 1, you never assume that people are as kind as you are. Never assume that. Okay. Number 2, just because you forgive someone, it does not mean that they have changed. Okay. Number 3, people will treat you how you allow them to treat you. So let me know in the comment section if you are an overthinker. Let me know in the comment section, why do you feel the need to I'm an oversharer? Sorry, not an overthinker, an oversharer. Let me know in the comment section why you are an oversharer. Why do you think you need to overshare? And also give us some tips on how to prevent this oversharing, because I'm telling you, it is very, very difficult. I'm struggling with it every day. I tell myself I'm not going to divulge such and such information to certain people, and the next day there I'm on the phone and I'm giving everybody the information that they do not need and that they do not deserve. Right? Another thing, other people don't need to know. many people don't even care. And also, you need to ask yourself, did it enrich that person? That information you gave them, did it enrich them in any sort of way? Like, was it beneficial to them? And many times the answer is no. So, from me, your famous aunt, bye. Please don't forget to like the video, comment, let's interact with each other. Type your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you feel about the topic and how we can prevent this. Thank you.